What are the top 5 Google Business Profile ranking factors that you should be paying attention to in 2026? We're going to get into them here in this video, along with 2 of them that people are simply not talking enough about and worrying about things that you have no control over, including AI's implications with the current landscape. So let's jump right into it. First, and possibly the most important, and I'm surprised more people aren't talking about this, is the proximity to the searcher. So where the Google profile is located, where it was verified, even if it's a service area business with the address hidden, where it was verified is the most important factor to getting found on a Google Maps search. So right now, it doesn't matter where you're searching from. You're always going to find a competitor if they're right down the street, along with 2 other suggestions that Google will come up with. Gone are the days of being able to dominate an entire metropolitan area in competitive industries. And so, if you're thinking about moving your location, you might want to check Google Maps before you do that, because moving could actually put you in a situation where you're worse off than where you are right now. So, where the business is located is most important. And if you're thinking about expanding into another service area, you might look at how you could open up a virtual office or another office and make it legitimate and start collecting reviews and opening up that service area that way, because you simply cannot expand the reach of the Google business profile to a certain extent because of how important proximity is. Moving on, we're going to talk about reviews. This is the second thing that people aren't really talking about. Reviews, the number of reviews you'll notice doesn't seem to correlate to the position in a Google Maps search. And the reason is because proximity, some of the other factors, and review velocity. So it is less important the number of reviews in terms of the actual ranking factor of a Google business profile in 2026, but the number of reviews that are coming in on a regular basis is showing strong data, strong signs that it's a high correlation between the position that you show up in maps. So a business that was on its game for years getting reviews and then stops, over time, they'll see their results start to diminish on Google Maps, because Google wants to see fresh activity in users creating signals, reviews that are showing the business is still top of its game. That brings me to the third ranking factor to pay attention to in 2026, which is user signals. Now, there are agencies out there that are promising quick wins with Google Business. They're promising things like being able to get you results without having access to your Google Business listing. I want to be the first to share with you that the reason they're able to get results for you without having access is because they're manipulating user signals. So they're spinning up additional devices and computers and things to do different searches, to request directions, to interact with the Google Business Profile, and fake the user signals to increase the ranking of the Google profile. The problem with that, of course, if they stop doing the work, that goes away. And secondly, at some point, Google is going to be able to find this tactic, this loophole, and expose it. And then there will be mass suspensions for businesses that are currently deploying this type of strategy. So user signals, real ones, are what's important, and you can't really gamify. But I felt it was worth mentioning here in this video, because it is one of those things that Google is paying attention to, and it's why those other tactics are working right now. It is a very important signal. The third thing, fourth, my bad, fourth, is the actual website content. So people that are sharing that you don't need a website to perform well in Google Maps, it's a half truth, because in certain industries with less competition or in areas where there's less population, you can get away with ranking a Google Maps listing without much or any work on a website. It's fairly simple. However, in bigger cities and where there is actual competition, the content of the website is critical in order to push the visibility of the Google Maps listing. Because what's happening is Google Maps has its own signals that we've just described, right? But it's also taking in information from the website in order to determine how it stacks up versus other competitors. So when you think about it, if your website is operating out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and there's not a single mention of Albuquerque, New Mexico on the website, it's not helping that Google business profile. Or if you're in the pest control industry and the only page or pages on the website have to do with general pest control services, but there is no listings, there's no pages for rodents, for termites, for bees, for ants, any of the other pests that a pest control company might be able to help with, it's not going to strengthen and boost up that Google profile the way that it would if it did have all these things on the website. All right, so the website content, you'll notice when you do searches under the Google business profile, it'll pick out little keyword phrases from the website, put them on there that correlate with your search. So Google is taking note of the website that's behind the Google profile, and it's also looking at the authority of the website, which is another topic of discussion for another day. But we'll focus on the content because that's the first stage and the most important part. If the content is not there, okay, it's not supporting the profile in the way that it could. The last and final one kind of dropped off for a while, but it's a hot topic of discussion now with AI and AI search here. It's the necessity and the importance of directory listings, or also called citations, mentions of the business in other areas of the internet that mention the business by name, address, and phone number. They have that key information in there. It's important now more than it has been for several years to make sure that the business is listed on as many of these key directories as possible, and that information is congruent. Because just like it was working years ago, it's now important today. These AI models are looking at all the data on the web about the business and making sure that it's accurate. Otherwise, it's starting to think or being confused about the accuracy of the information or the fragmentation of it. And so businesses that have gone through a move in the last few years or experienced issues with those listings not lining up. And if you can't get a profile to move, and you haven't done proper directories and listings, this might be one of those places where you sort of strengthen what you've already done. You get those set up the right way, and then you watch the overall maps visibility lift over time. So these are some of the key things that we're seeing right now in 2026 that are most important for your Google business profile to show up effectively. If you want help, you want a strategy, you want somebody to just take care of this stuff for you, reach out to us at digitalharvest.io. You can also click some of the links in the description of this video, make your way over to our website. You can book a time on our calendar with me, the chief strategist. We can walk you through a plan to help you get more visibility in Google Maps and help your business shine. With that said, I appreciate you for watching my video. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching my video. If you like this one, you'll love some of the other videos we have posted here on our channel that help blue-collar business owners get more out of their digital marketing. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos. If you got questions or comments, post them below. I look forward to catching you on the next video. Bye for now.